Yeah, this film is a couple of different sort of films in one, really. On one level, it's a very exciting, tension-filled action heist movie with a lot of interesting and fun, cool stunts. Underneath that is really a character story of these professional soldiers who were special operatives for many, many years, bonded together quite closely, and who now take a mission that is outside of what they usually do and is morally questionable. And underneath that, I think it's also a parable about war and military intervention and that kind of thing. So there's something for everybody, as they say.
Pre-production was really short. We had 4 days in California to really just get, layered up with M4s and military equipment and, live fire. And the military advisors, they were so amazing on this. And, us playing special forces and these guys' abilities are, are at the top, and their qualifications to do this is so extreme, and so them shedding their knowledge and intelligence and everything with us was so beneficial, and they were there every step of the way. And when you're playing a soldier, you approach it the same no matter what kind of genre the film is. You always sort of pay a respect, give the utmost respect to these, to the men you're playing, and never disrespect the uniform. And these guys really sort of set an example of where they've come from and what they want you to be. Because if you're putting on the uniform and you're playing one of these guys, they don't want it to be a mockery, a posing competition, and that's definitely not what this film was. Everybody was very legit. We wanted the realism to stand out.
It's very diverse, the range of roles that we get to play, and each role has its individual skill set that's required to, authentically portray that character. And one of the extraordinary things that they did right away was put us out into live fire scenarios.
Whoa.
So, we didn't know each other. I mean, I had never met Ben before. I didn't know Pedro or Oscar, and yet within 30 minutes of meeting each other, we were standing doing live fire exercises. One of the big themes of the film is community and interreliance within a brotherhood, and part of that is being responsible for each other's lives. That's the thing that you hear time and time again from these soldiers, is that they're at a moment's notice willing to lay down their life.
One of the misconceptions I had going into it was that here were going to be these real, superhero military guys, and that they were going to be very aggressive, drill sergeant bullies or something. And instead, they were the kindest, most open, humble men, and who taught us about, interreliance on one another as the most important thing, and this notion that we all sort of moved as one unit, one team, together, rather than being about like one person standing out and being the hero. There really wasn't a tremendous emphasis on hierarchy and being alpha and being tougher than the other people, and it was really they educated me and helped me understand that true strength came in compassion and empathy, in teamwork. I found that to be a lesson that I took away from this movie.
The difference between this film and many others that I've done is that so much of the movie was done very real, not on a sound stage, not with a lot of visual effects. It was very, very challenging, not only in front of the camera, but also behind the camera, what we put the crew through and all of ourselves through. And in addition, the elements were not always very kind to us, even though there was a lot of outdoor shooting. So, for example, while Hawaii was great, we had more rain there. It was like historic rain.
Wow.
So most of the time that we were there, even though, thank goodness, we had rain in the sequence, we were sloshing around in muds and mudslides, and a lot of times it took us a long time to get to work. And once we were in work, we were in sort of, flood conditions and things like that. The movie is exciting to watch, but it was also exciting to make. Here, the guys were in the military, and they were at the peak of the military experience because they were special forces. And when you're special forces, you are truly the best of the best in your, in your endeavors. And they actually then have to make the decision, or do make the decision, that they're actually going to take those skills that they haven't used for years and use them for their own benefit.
It was a moment where I sustained an injury, and of course, in true Hollywood, you know, dynamic sort of was overacting the moment, and he came over and said, you know, and gave me a couple of experiences where he himself had sustained massive injuries, and said, this is just a reality, you know, you need to hold it together. So it was amazing to get that sort of insight in real time and make sure that we were, you know, we were handling these situations correctly.
For me, because of that experience, because of my upbringing, I've met a lot of these soldiers that have come back from war. My grandfather was stationed in the Philippines as an MP and never spoke of the war when he came back. My other grandfather was stationed in Germany with Elvis. You know, and when I was, you know, a kid growing up on the farm, my father would walk me down the gravel road, you know, marching to a cadence because that's what he was used to.
Thank you for coming out to see us and talk with us. It's very nice to meet all of you, and we really think that you're going to enjoy the film when you see it. Extremely entertaining. Let's start there. And it's tense and suspenseful, but also has some really nice emotional moments. At the end of the day, I think that you'll be happy that you spent that time.
Yes, thank you very much. It's a thrill to be here. It's very exciting and so rewarding to have people come ask such thoughtful and intelligent and provocative questions. Thank you for that. I know we'll be speaking to some more of you as the day goes on, and I look forward to it.
Likewise, thank you so much for coming out. We worked very hard on this film, and you know, and I hope you all enjoy it. And it's sort of a traditional film on the surface, but it's a director's medium, and I feel like the sensibility of the filmmaker is always what shines through most in a film. And you know, JC has a very unorthodox way of telling this story, so you know, there's a lot of surprises along the way, and you know, hopefully you guys will enjoy it.
Thank you all for coming out. To reiterate what Chuck and Charlie said, you know, we're very proud of this and hope you enjoy it. And to give a shout out to Netflix as well, that made, you know, all of this possible, brought us here and brought us to all the countries that we're able to share this with and sort of get it out there. And, you know, we hope you enjoy it. And if you do enjoy it, the benefit of Netflix is you can watch it over and over and over again. And, you know, we hope you do. Share it.